enjoy being in here by yourself, huh?
Hanging out. What's going on, y'all? Hey, I wanted to share some stuff. This is the Monday where I usually do my private stream, but I wanted to do a public one and just share what I've been up to. And I wanted to show you what I upgraded to because I did upgrade to a new, what do you call it? A new speaker system. So I want to show you that as well. And answer some questions, and we might shed on some stuff. But let me do this right quick. Oh man, I gotta tighten these up. I'm gonna go out to my garage, but first, just need to send off something. Yeah, gotta get this reed wet enough. Okay. Oh, that's why I got a split. My reed is chipped. You know, this is when you have your reflection, usually, and you think back what you did, you think about what you were able to accomplish and some stuff that you weren't able to accomplish. And then you make, you really want to make an assessment and write a list or make a list of things that you want to accomplish coming up in the new year. And that's what I've been thinking about, and I've been talking to other musicians and friends just about being productive. And I have a podcast called Productive Q. I don't know if y'all been able to check it out yet, but Productive Q, I've had my man Sean Thunder Wallace on there, and we had some good conversation about uh, discipline and practice and stuff like that. And I've covered, some things on what you can do to keep moving forward and writing stuff down and taking full advantage of the time that you have when you do have time. What are you working on? So a lot of good stuff. If you go to my website, QuamonFowler.com, you'll see some of the podcasts listed there, or you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or Spotify, wherever you like to listen to podcasts. If you do, you can definitely check it out. Um, and I've been trying to post those videos of the podcast on my channel, Texas Tenor. So TEXAS10ER. You can go to that channel and get some of those podcasts, the video versions. Get subscribed to that one as well as this one. This channel is where I do my lessons. This is more so for jazz improvisation, but my Texas Tenor channel on YouTube, that's mostly for, I'm going to transition into like a journal like deal, you know, where I can kind of talk about what I'm doing in general, not just about music, talking about music, but also talking about inspirational things. Um, and like I said, share my Productive Q podcast, and along with some of my performance videos. So that's what I'm going to be changing in going into the new year on that channel. This channel is going to stay the same. You know, Jazz Webshed is focused on improvisation, helping you with your improvisation. He said, are bebop skills used on dominant chords? Um, my ideal examples on solos. Bebop scales are used over major chords. You can use them on dominant and also minor. 16251. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Half steps down. This reed is split. So it sounds like if you were to use bebop scales, that's what I'm saying. It's different bebop scales. You can put. I've done a lesson, and Sean did a lesson. I've done some too, but he went over the different modes of the bebop scale, where you can do the chromaticism on the 7th degree, the 6th degree, the 5th degree, the 3rd degree, and the 2nd degree. So it's different ones. You can do a major one, you can do minor ones. So if you want to check that video out, search for bebop scales, different modes of the bebop scale. I've done it, and inside of the academy, you can get it, the full one. But in terms of how you could apply it here, let's go back into the beginning. You could play. It's 1-6-2-1. So those are 7th chords. So on the 7th chords, you know, you can do the. That's the one. That's like the first mode. I do it coming down, descending. I'm saying the first mode is like where the chromaticism is on the 7th degree, but you can also put the chromaticism on the 6th degree. So what I mean by that is, so if we're gonna go, so if we're gonna do it on if we're gonna do it on that B, I'm sorry, the C sharp. On alto, it's B flat. Sometimes I'm slow with transposing on alto. I'm quicker on tenor. All right, so that at D flat, you can say. You know, that's the chromaticism is on the 7th degree. But if you do it like this, so so right there, I went ahead and played a flat 7 because it is a 7th chord, the D flat 7th chord, but I put the major 6 and the flat 6. And so since it's descending, going down a half step, and then, so that's the second mode, and you can apply that on those 7th chords. If you wanted to put it on the major chords, you could. That's the second mode, you know, where you put the chromaticism on the 6th degree. But you can do the 5th degree too. So, so you can do it like that. Oh yeah, that's it. And then when you get to I think, let's see what's going on. F. So that's an F. You know, right there, that was the chromaticism on the 3rd degree. So it just depends. That's on the 2nd degree because I played the 2 and then the flat 2. So let me try to play it. Anyway, I don't know the tune, so I gotta. I was kind of freestyling, but I'm on alto too, so I have to work it out. But for the most part, I don't know if that completely answered your question, but you can definitely use the bebop scales in different places and use different degrees. Let me turn the music up. Let me get that right there. purposely trying to think about the bebop scale now. You know, I won't play like this just off the cuff, but since you gave me something to think about, my brain is, or mind is trying to think about, okay, bebop scale, and I'm thinking about different ones. So you definitely want to work on a particular one, like pinpoint the particular bebop scale you want to work on, like from the 6th degree to 5th degree or third or whatever, two. And I'm used to playing the one on the from the first mode, which is what I call the 7th degree. But the 6th degree sounds good. And then you have the flat five, the five. You know, that one sounds good. So let me do this because I want to show you the speaker if I can. All right, so this is covered in the JBL cover for it, but it's actually S Stage Pass 1K. All right, so let me show you what it looks like. So just flip her around here, and this came with the cover, this unit, but I didn't have a dolly. So I had to put my JBL cover and dolly over it because you got to put the cover on it because it connects to the dolly itself. But this is the casing for the actual stage pass. And you can see here, it's got some nice pockets on it. So this is the case, you know. Oh, okay. So it's another pocket right here. I put my cords and stuff here. That's my auxiliary cord where I plug in. Come on. And this is my power cord. All right. So I think this is my old one I had. So I might can find a longer one. All right. So let's check out the stage pass here. This is cool because the bag itself is where you put the speakers and the spacers. Speakers right here, these are spacers to make it stand taller. You know, depending on if you're in a big room, you'll have both spacers on and then put the speaker on top. All right, so this is it. And you can see here, first of all, let's look at the mixer. So on the mixer, zoom in some for you. Yeah, so you have one, you got your reverb up here that you can turn. You got your EQ. So you can do your master volume right here for your channels, and we got 3 channels are the same, you know, and line the mic high. That's the option, or low. And so right underneath on the back side, this is where you would plug in. If you got your instrument, you can plug in, or if you got a microphone, you can plug in right there. Yeah. Oh, look at that. It even got MIDI something? Huh. Interesting. And reverb. I don't mess around with that. I haven't. Stereo inputs or mono, you know, left and right, to plug in a keyboard or something. Okay, so that's your volume for that. Then line. You got a line where you can put your auxiliary in right there. And it also has Bluetooth, so you can use it if you have some music to play when you're on break. So that's pretty cool. That's your master volume right there. And speaker club mode. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, speech and then club. That's like they changed the terminology. So basically you turn it this way, you'll get more bass. And if you turn it this way, it'll kind of cut out the bass and you'll have more of the high. The high is the treble. So it's a little different from the way that the Eon 1 is laid out. This is your reverb. You can turn that on and then you can turn it up or down, and then you just have to go to the individual channel and turn the knob for reverb to get that. Or is it here? So EQ, I guess your bass is over here and then highs are this way. I see they kind of simplified things. Instead of having two knobs, one for treble and bass, they just have one knob and you can kind of adjust it as needed. Monitor, yeah, because I like this one because the Eon 1 didn't have a way for you to use it as a monitor. There was no out on it, but this one, it has an out, so that's pretty cool. So you can plug into the house and then use this unit as a monitor. So that's the back of it, and this is the front. You got the casing there, and it's like about the same size as the JBL. You see it fits in there. The JBL might be a little fatter, but you know, that's the casing for it. But it does well. It really plays well. I don't know if you can really tell over the computer. I mean, over the computer or the phone how it sounds. You know, probably on my videos, I'll do another one where I play. I'll play a video. Okay, and doing like Christmas parties, and I got another one coming up tomorrow, and I'm gonna use it, and another one on Friday, and then I got another one on Sunday. So I'm gonna be definitely, you know, trying out this more and more on gigs, and I'll record. I haven't recorded yet. I did do a gig where I used it for the first time on Saturday, but I wasn't able to record. So I'm thinking I need to get me another phone so that I could have one phone I can use to record. You know what? I'm glad I said that because I think the guy said the Yamaha Stage Pass comes with the app. I think so. I got to look into that, and I also got to find a setup to where I can start and stop my recording. You know, video recording from my phone. That might be another thing to look into. So just trying to get my setup together so that I can be sounding better for my live streaming, because I'm not live streaming, but doing my live performances, because like I told you, my Eon 1 had noise, and this one sounds good. The Eon 1 sounded good for a minute, but then I was having some noise like buzzing and stuff, so that's why I had to update. Oh, make sure you join me on my Texas Tenor YouTube channel. That's TEXAS10ER, and that's where I'll be sharing more of my podcasts and like just performance videos. This channel, Jazz Webshed, is mostly gonna deal with improvisation and stuff. I'll be talking or sharing how to play different things, and everything about improvisation will be here. And I do share performance clips. Just here lately, I've been playing a lot of gigs, so I've been sharing performance clips. But if you go to my Texas Tenor channel, then you'll get the performances, plus you'll get the journal like podcasts and things like that. Because I want to share more stuff than just improvisation related material and music related material. And I didn't want to start a whole new channel because of that. So that's why I went ahead and started doing it on my Texas Tenor channel. All right. So that's pretty much all I have. I just wanted to come on here and share a little bit. Um, Really, this was my real estate day. So I've been looking at deals and, doing research and trying to get some funding for a property. So that's what I've been doing all today. So I'm in a different mode. But I'll come back with some videos sharing more stuff about scales and stuff you can use. I actually listen to the song My Ideal, and then if I have something, I'll come back. I have a comment. I see it popped up here. What's going on, Stonewall? He says, "Man, join late. Hope all is well. Keep up the hard work on the business thing." Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate your comments. Y'all's feedback, your comments, that helps. That inspires me or motivates me to continue to share stuff. I know we're in a time where people like to the convenience of being able to just open their app and just get whatever they want, you know. And and I do appreciate the comments, the likes and all of that, because if you don't pay for the master class or join Texas Tenor Music Academy, your participation and sharing the content that I put on here for free, it helps me get to a bigger audience. And of course, because I'm monetizing these, I can get paid a little bit, um, from the ads that are generated from the material I leave. So, but I understand, a lot of people will use all of the free stuff that they can and not pay for stuff. We all do that to a certain degree, um, and I'm not mad at you because we do. That's just what it is. But if you're not going to pay for the premium stuff, just make sure you do comment. Make sure you do give it a thumbs up, because that helps the algorithm. Um, share to more people who are looking for the type of content that you're enjoying, and that's just a way to show your appreciation. Or you could join or do a super chat or whatever, because those will come through as well, just the way that you can show your love and appreciation. But I I do this, and I want to do more throughout the week, even going into next year. I want to continue to share and leave me messages and things, just asking questions about um, whatever you need help with, or even leave your feedback on some things that you would like to see on the channel going into next year. I see some comments coming in. Let me check it out. When you were learning jazz, was it mostly a self-taught thing, or did you need to put in a lot more effort than some? Your live videos from Luigi's are pretty cool. Oh, cool. Appreciate you. All right. So I don't, or chromatics, abrupt. It's all about what you're hearing, the melody that you're trying to um, create. Um, and then did I Was I self-taught? I mean, it's really, I always had a teacher. In the beginning, I kind of taught myself. When I was 12, of course, I had a band director that helped me with learning how to play the saxophone. But still, when I got home, I practiced a whole bunch. So I think it's a combination of both because I had a mentor, a teacher when I was 14, and I would go over there to her house and she would um, teach me and show me different things, jazz chord changes, and she'd show me different musicians to check out. And so I took that and ran with it. So I think the best thing you want to do is get a mentor. And the beauty about now, there was no YouTube. I don't know if it was a beauty if I say a beauty about now because it's different. Because I think it's a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing because it's just something about human contact one on one, and more so than the virtual thing. Especially now, I mean, what's great that you're able to connect with me and you can get these lessons that I put up here, but at the same time, it's nothing like hooking up with somebody one on one in person and having them to show you different things. And I had that. So I had that. She would assign me stuff to practice on. I would go home and practice on it for the week, come back the next week, and we would move on to something else. So I had that throughout my high school years, and I would practice with other musicians. I had some friends who I practiced with, so it was always stuff that we were listening to, and we transcribed. We would transpose, put stuff in different keys. We were creating play along tracks. I mean, literally, like just the saxophone and piano. Um, a group of saxophone players. I would hook up with other piano players and drummers. So we did a whole bunch of that. This is all high school stuff. I was doing performances, I was doing gigs, and so I was writing music, I was recording. So it's like all of that stuff was going on that really helped me shape my sound. It helped me shape um, who I am. So it was like all of that stuff going on when I was a kid. And when I got to college, I was always practicing. Everybody who knows me from college years, they know I was always practicing. Like throughout my undergrad, going into my master's, I was always practicing, always writing music, working on stuff. So I think just because I was always um, pursuing stuff, it just helped me develop, and I was always trying new things and experimenting rhythmically and pushing. So it's like when you do it, it was fun. It was like just a fun journey to be able to work on stuff and play it live. I think that's a big deal when you can work on something in your private time, and then when you have a performance opportunity, you try it, and then the response you get from your peers and your audience and all of that. I mean, that really inspires you to keep on working on new stuff so that you can present more. And so that was great. And so now we got YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, social media. And so I think now we spend so much time looking at stuff instead of actually working on stuff. And so that's one of the things you can't get caught up in, because now at this point I've already put in the work. Like some of you probably haven't put in all the work. You're discovering stuff through the internet, but you're taking more time discovering stuff than you are actually practicing. Whereas you'll get to a lot of the stuff that you might learn through YouTube by just practicing. Like I had a student call me today. He wants to hook up with me and over the next year and just soak up as much as he can before he goes off to grad school. And but he was just saying he wanted to take a break from school because he felt like once he gets into school, he'd be so busy and he won't really be able to dig in like he wants to. So, I get it. I mean, because when I was in my 20s, there was no Facebook. I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't on YouTube. So, um, we spent a lot of time, if you really think about it, we spend a lot of time looking at our phones and looking at social media. We're very connected. Everybody's connected because of social media. And so um, it can be a distraction and it can take away from time that you could have been spending focused on practicing or learning about yourself just from exploring your own ideas. Because I spent a lot of time just playing the horn, working on stuff, figuring out stuff. I would go um, to the music building when I was doing my undergrad at Southern. I stayed. Of course, I stayed on campus some, and I would go to the music building and practice. And then once I moved off campus, where I was going to LSU, which was like on the other side of the town, I would go to LSU practice room, and I would start around 11 at night. I would go and practice to like about 2, 3 in the morning, and then I would go back, walk home, and go to sleep because I set my classes to be like 10 or so. Um, so I did that. I would do that like a lot, and just in hindsight, thinking about it, it was uh, it was a fun time. I mean, because we had a community, we actually had in Baton Rouge, we had venues that we could play at in Baton Rouge, and we had a bunch of venues and stuff we could do in New York, in New Orleans, and we had a community of musicians that were practicing, working on stuff, playing stuff, hip stuff on gigs, and we would go to New Orleans and do jam sessions, and we played the jazz festival, every year. And my teacher, Evan Baptiste, he would put me on his gigs, and so I was always practicing. We would practice and work on stuff. So I always had a mentor, and then I always dug in and practiced on top of it. And so, now it's different. We go through seasons in our life, and when I was single, I could just dig in and just have all of this fun, just doing what I enjoy doing. But now in this season, I'm married, I got 2 kids, and I got to provide. So everything that I do now, it has to, it had to make sense, make dollars and cents, where, and that's why I've gotten into other things. I created these different streams of income, though, through sharing the lessons through my academy and also monetizing my channel here on YouTube. And so I play gigs. I do gigs, of course, and I teach part time at a college. So I got multiple streams of income that are tied to what I've done all my life. Practice and perform. And so I teach, practice, and perform. So I'm able to get paid from the practice. So when I come on here and practice, I share the stuff on YouTube. You're watching and enjoying it for free, maybe, but I'm able to get a little bit of something because YouTube allows for us to monetize our channel. So that's where I am in this season. So I saw. Do you ever use pentatonic over standards? Yeah, of course, definitely. Yeah, you use pentatonic. I think what you're thinking as a smooth jazz or gospel R&B type style player, um, when you playing straight ahead, the context is different. So you don't want to just stay playing a pentatonic scale, even if it's in one particular key. You know, like a something like that rhythm change. So if you use so you can play one pentatonic. So you can say, you know, you can play that through the whole thing, but in jazz, you really want to think more so of lines or think about melodic statements. And so that's where, um, when you learn your bebop scales, that'll help. And you learn the modes because each change on like 1625 turnaround is just it's related, but you got some different notes. You got some different notes there. So some notes you can outline, um, that'll take you outside of the pentatonic scale. But the language, you got to understand the language. You get the language from transcribing. You got to learn solos from the jazz greats. Sonny Stitt, Sonny Rollins, um, um, Cannonball Adderley, Oscar Peterson, Phineas Newborn, these guys, um, Dexter Gordon, Miles Davis, Clifford Brown, Lee Morgan, Freddie Hubbard. All of these guys, Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, of course, you listen to a lot of their stuff, then you'll start. And I say listen to it, but you also got to learn it, learn some of the stuff, and then that'll help give you some vocabulary. And what'll happen as you learning their stuff, and then you start trying to play it over your groove stuff, it'll make your groove stuff or the stuff where you're playing pentatonics most of the time. You start implementing some bebop stuff in there, and it'll make it more interesting. It'll open you up to where your language is just not um, just modal, and it'll actually be you'll be able to play through different and outline different colors. And once you start learning harmony, that's when it can really get fun because you can start applying what you know in different um, from a different perspective of the chord. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that, like, so when you got a B flat major, you can look at it from the root position, but you can go to the third, and that's D minor. You can go to the fifth, and that's F major. Then you can go to the seven, and that's A minor. And then if you do A, C, E, that right there in relation to B flat, that's an E, so that's a sharp 11. So you can create lines off of each degree. And then once you start learning how to play off the different modes of a particular chord, then you want to learn about enclosures because enclosures help you connect your lines, whether it be a linear line or arpeggiatic line. It helps you connect your your lines or your melodic lines together. Because it sets you up. It's like an arrival point, a transition into the next chord. You know. And so, but yeah, all of that comes from listening and transcribing. And then you got to get the technical or put a label on what it is that you learned. Like, that's where jazz theory comes in. So, yeah, so it's a lot of stuff. A lot of the stuff I talk about, in my lessons, my longer lessons that are inside the Texas Tenor Music Academy. So check it out if you want to go deeper into a lot of this stuff. And we just did a podcast with my man Sean Thunder Wallace, Dr. Thunder, teaches at Ohio State. We have a podcast. Excuse me. We have a podcast that we did that's on QuamonFowler.com. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I had some soup before I got in here, but we did a podcast where we talked about practicing and discipline and things. But also inside the academy, Sean did some lessons where he talked about the bebop scales and he talked about how to play over the rhythm changes. And he took like the 1, 2, 3, 5, and he talked about how you can use that. But it's really good stuff, really good. All right, somebody said, man, I'd love to get up with you again and just share. Orlando Clark, oh man, yes indeed. Bro, when do you sleep? All the time. I sleep good, man. I definitely sleep good. I don't be staying up. This was like back in the day. You probably came when I was talking about how much I practice and all of that. That was like 20 years ago. Dang. Yeah, 10, 15 years ago. 15 to 20 years ago. I feel like I ain't that old. I'm 39, but I was in college doing a lot of that. All right, y'all. Well, we'll see you later. I'll chop it up, cut out the dead spots, and you'll be able to revisit this and get some of the stuff I was talking about. All right. We'll see you later on. Appreciate you for following the channel, subscribing, and continue to share it and tell others about it. And always give me some feedback. Let me know what you like to see coming up in the next year, and I'll continue to share more stuff so that you can enhance your skills in jazz improvisation. Standards. Somebody says standards. What kind of standards? Odefe. Odef. How do you say it? Odefe. Phonetically, spell it out for me. And Hemeth. Hemeth said. Yeah, Hemeth said standards. Thanks. Okay, I'll deal with some standards. Somebody says, I don't anything. I just want anything to transcribe of you. Oh, so I mean that's I think so that I do those videos, those video clips of me playing over certain songs. Uh, so of my tunes, like the last ones, I think I did Jesus is So Good. I did Mr. Keen, and some others are up there from Luigi's. So you can check those out. And then, yeah, so I'll continue to put some of those out. I actually got some stuff. I got like some transcriptions from my CDs. This is actually something that's a horn player did. This is my solo on Impulse from my album Impulse. It was on Prevail. So he transcribed this, and he has the digital copy he needs to get to me. But if you like to see some transcriptions, I have some on my website. I think four. I got four. I gotta check and see if that's up there. Maybe it is. It's a video. If you look for, put in my name. I got a 4 transcription. I got me playing over this tune that's like September in the Rain. I call it October in the Rain. That I wrote like a couple years ago. I did it on Iwi, and somebody transcribed it for me. So I got a few transcriptions. I got one from Blues at Bohemian. I think that's on Live and Uncut. Quamon Fowler Live and Uncut. So if you want some transcriptions of a particular video, just message me. Send me a message to jazzwebshed@gmail.com. Because really, you really help me to develop this whole thing. The more you give me feedback and share, the better I can fine tune some of the videos I create and some of the stuff that I talk about in the videos. So we're a community. So I'm feeding off of you, just like I'm sharing more stuff and you learning. You can let me know what I need to do, what I need to include on the next video, and I can create stuff accordingly. Okay. All right. Somebody said I don't know any. Oh, you say I don't know anything. Okay. And somebody says my friend Mogi showed me you. Oh yeah, Mogi's a bad dude on 4, and it's so good. Oh yeah, that's cool. Appreciate it. And that solo on Ask Me Now on your live album was also amazing. Oh, cool. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Hemeth. I'm glad that you enjoyed those. That's what it's about, You practice, you discover things when you practice and keep playing songs and record them, do your best to document what you do and share it, and then you'll inspire others, And that's one of the things that I've always enjoyed about this whole experience, as a musician, because you get to share things that you've worked on or put your heart and soul into, and it'll touch people in ways that you don't even know just from sharing it. So I've always been an advocate for recording. So that's a good practice to do. Even when you're practicing by yourself, record it and share it. That's what I did. That's what I do. That practice that me and Mogi did at the end, we just played some tunes and I recorded it in the practice room at TSU, and I shared it. And so it's still up. If you want to check that out, Mogi Taylor, put Quamon Fowler, Mogi Taylor, and it's a session where we was going over tunes and stuff. Or did I just put one? I probably just put one up. I think the whole thing might be up there. I don't know. I can't remember now. I think I might have just used a session when we were playing the blues, but I got the whole thing somewhere. All right, y'all. I'm out for real this time. We'll see you later. All right, peace.